The most underrated and overlooked albums of 2025. Yes, this video is making a comeback. You guys should know, if you follow me for a long time, that I do one of these every single year. I discuss the most overlooked, underrated albums that I feel need way more exposure and need way more eyes on them, eyes and ears on them, and hopefully give you guys some brand new recommendations before you make your year-end list. So, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Let me know in the comments what you would pick for the most underrated albums of the year. What do you think of my picks? Check them out, then listen to them, and then come back to me and let me know. And then, yeah, hopefully the goal is to give you something brand new. Hopefully I can provide that. Let's find out if I can. I want to start with Bartees Strange because I did feel as though this album was going to be the one for him that really gives him a brand new, exciting audience that wasn't there before. He was kind of low-key. He still has a decent-sized audience, of course. But this album, for me, was an improvement on his previous work. It still had the really anthemic, exciting, rocky choruses, that Heartland rock vibe bleeding in, but he also tried some different sounds and styles and blended them together in a really cool and unique way that I thought was really good. And I just had such a love for this album, and yet it didn't really manage to bring a brand new audience for him. So it was a little bit of a shame to see, but Wants Needs, still one of my favorite songs of the year. 17 is fantastic too. Indie rock fans, gotta get on this guy. If you want to check out his previous work, I would implore you to do so. I think all of his albums are worth checking out. They're all kind of in this underrated umbrella, and yeah, I think he's got some of the best songs of the decade so far, and that's high praise from me. So hopefully that's enough of a reason for you to check this guy out. Similarly, I want to mention Daniel Kleedeman, who actually reached out to me earlier this year to make sure I checked out his album. And I don't always have the time to do that. I am obviously a busy guy. I don't always have the time to check out every album that people email me or DM me and that kind of thing. It's hard to do. I'm only one person, of course, and this isn't a full-time job for me. So I do try my best to check out albums that are directly messaged to me, and he said in his messages that he was on the Bartees Strange album. He had worked alongside other indie artists, but this time he's kind of gone solo and given us his own work, and my God, this is really great, really, really great. It does have a bit of a rocky feel, but it's more artsy, and there's some kind of chamber pop elements coming through as well, and these kind of really grandiose moments that take these songs into really cool places. There's just so many great little gems on this album. I don't even think, and I can't even find it on Rate Your Music, so we're kind of digging deeper below the surface here of what the definition of underrated is, because that site's a really great database for all kinds of weird niche albums, and the fact that this isn't even on there kind of shows you that this is really digging deeper. But yeah, really want to implore you to check this one out. I think it's a great album. I do want to mention Lou Adrian Cassidy, who had a bit of buzz at the start of the year when this came out back in January, so it kind of got a bit of that boost of, not really huge amounts of releases out, people kind of checking out anything and everything. So there was a little bit of hype around it, but it really slowed down as the year went on and more releases came out. But I still think this is a really, really sweet, lovely French pop release here, and I think you would get a lot out of it if you are a fan of kind of folky, indie folky stuff, but also a combination of like indie pop as well. The opening track, still one of my favorites of the year, is delving into almost a disco dance vibe with the instrumental. It's a really, really exciting song. I think the whole thing has a lot going for it. I think she has a really, really beautiful voice as well, and I think a lot of people would enjoy this one. Pulsy Perla, one of the more manic and wacky releases this year, has had a bit of buzz amongst the Rate Your Music nerds, so it's not massively underrated, I guess, but yeah, overlooked for sure. I think there's been quite a lot of buzz around Latin music this year with Bad Bunny, Rosalia. The Mon Laferte album got a bit of heat around it too, which was good to see, but still, people need to keep going. People need to keep going and keep looking beyond what's just the popular, because there's some amazing Latin music out there, and this Pulsy Perla album is wacky, weird, and really, really exciting as well. I think there's so many fun, zany tracks with some kooky kind of like choruses and instrumentals and weird vocalisms that pop through as well. It's a lot of fun, it's really exciting, and yeah, definitely going to be another year-end list contender for me, despite the fact that not many other people seem to be talking about it. I want to mention Kamo, who I have been hyping up throughout the year, as I think, again, we're looking at an artist here that appeals to a particular audience that people just need to pay attention to, because if you're a fan of like Glaive, Two Hollies, like Breakance, Eric DOA, all that stuff, you should be on top of this Kamo album. It's doing all of that, but in a really good way. And for a debut album, we hadn't even heard from this guy really much before this album, or at least I hadn't. But yeah, again, just really impressive, really sticky choruses. Maybe if you're not into that style of like alt emo-ish hyper pop stuff, you might not be fully on board with it, but if you are a fan of that sound, then that's exactly why I want you to check this out, because I think this would massively appeal to you. And my final pick, which is of course in no particular order, I do want to mention Sam Gellaitry, who I think has been really one of the more interesting, unique voices in electronic music for quite some time, particularly when you look at the EP run that he was on with the Escapism one all the way up to like 4 or 5, or was it, or maybe even 6 in the end. That was a really cool time, but he started to showcase his voice, started to bring out more vocals in his work, and provided some really fun, danceable, groovy songs, and he's just taken that to another level on this album here with just a straight up funky house album from front to back. You've got Toroi Moore coming through on a feature, which is really cool on this album. You've got kind of like a bit of a Tame Impala vibe coming through on some tracks too, a bit of a Kaytranada isms as well. But yeah, if you want somebody that's kind of taking the sound a little bit further and doing it better than, you know, Tame Impala is in 2025, then you should definitely check out my boy Sam, because this was a really, really fun listen. Some really catchy tracks, groovy tracks like On and On especially. So yeah, wanted to mention this. Thought this one might get a bit more buzz than it did. Unfortunately it didn't, so it's thrown into this video for you. And that is it from me. I've handed you 6 hopefully new and hopefully great recommendations that you should be checking out right before you make your year-end list. So if you're wanting some new albums, check out all of these. If any of these appeal to you, if any of these tickled your fancy in any kind of way, check them out, please, because I think they're definitely worth your time. And yeah, as always, make sure you're subscribed, make sure you're checking out more videos, make sure you're commenting, liking the video, and if at the very least, you know, maybe just watch another video of mine, and that might convince you to be subscribed for longer. And yeah, if you are somebody that's been watching me for some time, you like what I do, maybe even check out the Patreon, the membership page as well. Keeps the channel going, keeps these videos coming at the pace that they do, and we've got even more year-end list content coming for you as well. I enjoy doing these little miscellaneous videos up until the year-end list that I do right at the end of like December-ish time, kind of mid to late December. So please, there's plenty of this on the way. Make sure you're following for more. Have a good day and goodbye.